Ticking away. Soon it will be midnight, which is when our splendid glass coach turns back into being just a tired old trawler. As you can appreciate, we don't want to leave you. We've had a splendid time entertaining Dover.
And also more or less burned out from having fought a 28-year running battle with the authorities for persistently trying to entertain as many people as possible at no cost to themselves and in a free and uncontrolled way. It is strange and confusing to me to see the lengths that various governments have gone to in order to try and silence us. I always thought, possibly in a naive way, that democracy means that if most of the public authorities find us so infuriating. Also, for the last 20 years, we have been preaching an ethic which we call loving awareness, or LA. You might think that loving awareness is a relic from the flower power era, and indeed at times even I have had some difficulty explaining what LA stands for, but now I can see it in crystal clarity, and basically it works like this. In November, the Ross Revengers brought in cold, dark, silent and dirty and totally humbled from what she and we have been through. And I have a nasty feeling that some officials rubbed their hands together and said, at last, we've visited the final humiliation on them. However, they had not considered LA. What LA did was to cause people, some of whom don't even make their names known to us, to send donations which built up to a fund enabling us to buy our ship back from the salvors. It caused one man to cover the entire cost of these broadcasts without any certainty that he would ever see a penny of his money back. And it caused a diverse bunch of people to flock down to this dear old ship and to start bringing her to life again. There are people here who have carried out the most extraordinarily unpleasant jobs in order to get our engines and generators running and to make the ship warm, bright and clean again. Others have worked very close to the point of exhaustion, preparing for our special broadcasts and producing merchandise which our listeners have purchased mostly because they know that the income created goes to fund the station. Advertisers have booked time with us even when they were far outside our coverage area simply because we are Caroline. Some of the people on board have walked out of steady jobs to join us, and in this you have to remember I'm projecting that good time to the listeners who they actually regard as friends. What a great pity we can't continue. I want to thank every crew member and supporter, every advertiser and everyone who has called us or visited the ship. God and finance is willing, this vessel will soon sail for the River Medway, where work on her will continue. She is not being mothballed or turned into a static museum. We intend to operate another short-term station to see if we can bring as much fun to the Medway towns as we have to Dover. Tonight at midnight, when we throw the big switch here, our broadcast will immediately commence via the new technology of satellite broadcasting, which is as close as we can currently get to our aim of totally free radio. For a station which was regarded as all washed up only a few months ago, it's a pretty good achievement, and one which I'm very proud of. Not at all bad for a bunch of old hippies. So all I want to do now is to thank Ronan O'Reilly for having devised the idea of Caroline so many years ago, and for having given me the chance to have such a splendid time and to have met such a fine group of friends. I have a reputation on board for saying things that make people cry, and I can certainly tell you that a few tears are going to be shed on board the Ross Revenge tonight.
It's not mine.
I just want to tell you that I love my crew, we love our wonderful ship, and we all love you, our listeners. Until we have the privilege of entertaining you again, this is Peter Moore saying good night, God bless, and LA, and I'd like to play you my own favourite track, which for me, and I suspect for many others, perfectly sums up what Caroline is all about. Good night.
I will hear your silent call.
Been fun, hasn't it?
Next stop the Medway. Tiger batteries. I have two on the Enterprise and they stop the Tiger batteries.
Walk back the main, take course to the Medway.
Malcolm, just do it again. I missed a couple of bits there. Do it again for us.
Written down cabin 9.
Well done.
It's all written down long hand.
How long is it?
I'm happy.
It's a cruel world, man has to have his hair brushed.
Are you going to get through with your process?
Yeah, probably. I've got to go upstairs.
Broadcasting on 101.8 FM from Dover, this is Radio Caroline. Unfortunately, we do have to cease transmissions momentarily due to circumstances beyond our control. And just before I go, I'd like to play this.
Caroline, the sound of the land. Caroline, the sound of the nation. Caroline.
Thank you for listening. Keep listening. And keep the dream alive.
Let's sing along. How's it go?
Look up, I'm on telly.
She really is mine. So she's gonna be mine. Be mine. She is so fine. I'll make her mine. Her name is Caroline.
Dave Roachman, round of applause,
We'll be back sometime.
Then all of a sudden you hear the odd jingle and you go, it's us, yeah. Where were they? Yeah, for a while we did. That's how I look at it. I look at it. How good being negative.